vede? Vladi non vede? Ah? Arriva fino? Ah? Arriva fano? Oh, pare sfida! Yeah, Bramidina! No! Beer! No! Oh!
Hey guys, wanna watch a show about frogs?
Alright, before we get into this, it's not a secret. I lost my voice and I still decided to record this anyway, so it might sound a little bad. But anyway, let's just jump into Amphibia, one of the shows in this Disney Channel renaissance, or so to speak. You see, Disney Channel throughout the 2000s was a powerhouse for TV animation. With 2000 hits such as Recess, Kim Possible, Phineas and Ferb, The Proud Family, and more, things were going great. And the 2010s showed some promise as well, with some potentially great shows being released, such as Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, Kick Buttowski, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. All great shows. And then, the change happened. Disney turned their rerun channel Toon Disney into a sister block, Disney XD. This channel isn't featured in basic cable packages and isn't really on anyone's radars, and so, in turn, it's pretty much a death sentence to any show that's banished there. In short, it's Disney's equivalent of the Nicktoons network. And so, with the creation of Disney XD, Disney Channel moved all of their animated programming to XD. And when I say all of it, I mean all of it. Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, Kick Buttowski, Star, and even Phineas and Ferb, Disney's moneymaker at the time. And as a result, their animation budgets got cut, and save for Gravity Falls and Star, no one watched the shows. All of Disney's new cartoons were birthed onto Disney XD. Stuff like Pin Zero Part-Time Hero, The 7D, and Randy Cunningham were all short-lived because they brought in low ratings, because Disney intentionally put them on their graveyard of a channel and wondered, oh, why did our shows not do as good as we wanted them to? Guess we gotta cancel them. And then we got Milo Murphy's Law. Oh, poor Milo. Man got one pretty good season and a whole other season produced, finished, wrapped up for a year and a half. And because Disney started to realize that Disney XD might not be the greatest thing in the world, and when it did air on Disney Channel instead, it got pretty decent ratings in the season premiere because, well, Phineas and Ferb. But after that, nothing. Because there was almost no promotion for the show until the season finale, and we still have no idea if it's canceled or not. The show is currently stuck in limbo because the team left to work on the new Phineas and Ferb movie, and there's no sign whether or not it will return. In summary, I am not a fan of Disney XD. But then, something happened. A ray of light shining in the veil of darkness. A new hope emerges for Disney TV animation. And it's
The milking of a super popular multi-million-dollar franchise.
Tangled the series. Cobb, is there anything you don't do great? Well, besides having a decent betrayal plotline. But Tangled the series was the first animated series since Disney XD was created to premiere and stay on the Disney Channel. Disney looked at the ratings and said, okay, maybe people actually want to see cartoons from us. And soon enough, a bunch of other cartoons from Disney XD started to move to Disney Channel. Star vs. the Forces of Evil's terrible final season, DuckTales 2017, Milo Murphy's Law, but we all saw how that went, and Big Hero 6, the series, all made their way to Disney Channel. And alongside them, new shows premiered on the channel, Big City Greens, Amphibia, and The Owl House. And currently, the latter three have a whole commercial-free block to themselves, and really high animation budget. Like, by default, these shows are animated on ones and have shading in every scene. It took a movie for Steven Universe to get that. It seems for the first time in a long time, Disney is finally confident in their TV animation. Except for DuckTales and Big Hero 6, because for some goddamn reason they moved back to Disney XD. Why? DuckTales is in the middle of its likely final season. What the hell, Disney? God, I am so sorry. I know I lost my voice, and I still decided to record. This probably sounds awful. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. And that brings us to today, with this Disney Channel renaissance going on. Our three big cartoons, Big City Greens, The Owl House, and Amphibia. Big City Greens, I feel, is the new age Phineas and Ferb. The show was pretty much an instant hit, with its episodic nature and heartwarming lessons and characters. It's one of the few shows left you can just jump into any episode no problem. It's also really funny. The Owl House, with its deep lore and big overarching story, which I feel is Disney equivalent to Avatar: The Last Airbender. This show is really pretty. Its action scenes are absolutely stunning, with nearly every episode showcasing some sort of mind-blowing on-one's animation. It's also the first Disney Channel show with an LGBT lead. That's awesome. Season 1 just wrapped up last week, and while the first episode is really preachy, the rest of the season is absolutely great. Great characters too. In retrospect, I probably should have brought water with me. And that leaves Amphibia, which is personally my favorite out of the three. The show has a pretty good overarching story, excellent comedy, great characters, great music, and a great environment. This show, I feel, is a great successor to Gravity Falls, with its mix of deep lore and grand overarching story with comedic and episodic stories. Amphibia is the story of three friends, Anne, Marcy, and Sasha, who somehow are transported into a world of frogs called Amphibia. Amphibia has a pretty simple hierarchy. There are monsters that are just wild animals, plain and simple. The frogs are at the bottom of the chain and are simply just farmers. The toads are gruesome and keep the frogs in check, and essentially abuse their power to gain wealth from the frogs, and the newts rule them all, and are the wisest civilization in all of Amphibia. Our main girl, Anne, finds herself in a small village of frogs called Wartwood, where she is adopted by the planters, Hop Pop, Sprig, and Polly. They vow to help Anne to get home, but only after a fog storm clears so they can leave the valley and search for answers. After a while, the townsfolk begin to trust Anne too, instead of viewing her as just one of the many monsters in their world. And speaking of the townsfolk, gosh, they are great. We got the crummy Mayor Toadstool and his assistant Toadie, who is voiced by Wander Over Yonder himself, by the way. Sprig's arranged fiance Maddie, who is just the cutest, and his actual love interest Ivy, who is just the cutest, One-Eyed Wally, Loggle, Mrs. Croaker, Hop Hop's love interest Silvio Sundu, and much more. Over the course of the season, we slowly find out how Anne and her friends were transported into Amphibia because of a magical music box that they found at the thrift store, and for some reason, it separated them across the frog world. We also slowly find out, while Anne is really looking forward to reuniting with her friends are actually kind of toxic and controlling, and Anne develops into a person who will stick up for the people who care for her, as well as herself and her ideals. And it all comes full circle in the season 1 finale, which I won't spoil because, wow, everything comes together. The seemingly filler episodes, Anne's character arc, everything. And season 2 so far has been really good too. It's still airing weekly on Disney Channel and follows the planters' journey outside of the valley to Newtopia in order to find answers on how to get Anne back to Earth. The action, comedy, and just episodes in general this season have been straight fire. And Marcy's just so adorable. Also, they had a Gravity Falls crossover where they killed Grunkle Stan, the absolute mad lads. This season has really been building towards the mystery of the music box and the tear in Anne, Marcy, and Sasha's friendship. Also, what is it with second seasons of Disney shows and being road trip themed? Like seriously, if I had a nickel for every Disney show I watched that season 2's main focus was getting in an old-timey wagon and traveling the world to get to a mysterious location in order to find answers on the big mystery of the previous season, I would have 2 nickels. It's not much, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Overall, Amphibia is a great show, and I'm not spoiling anything story-wise because I highly recommend you watch this show. It has an excellent blend of comedy, story, and fan service. The characters are easy to fall in love with, and the world building is something fresh for Disney Channel. The entire first season is on Disney+, so what are you waiting for? Anyways, that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, take care.